Welcome to Tech News Briefing. It's Friday, June 9th. I'm Zoe Thomas for the Wall Street Journal. YouTube is a hub for all kinds of video content. Everything from music videos to news broadcasts to live-streamed NFL games. But the bulk of its content is still mostly uploaded by thousands of independent video producers, and YouTube relies on that to sell advertising. So perhaps it's no wonder that its CEO Neal Mohan is making an effort to meet and even bond with some of the platform's biggest creators. But will that be enough to help YouTube attract content creators and advertisers at a time of rising competition? With me to discuss this is Miles Kruppa, who covers YouTube and its parent company, Google. Miles, YouTube has always attracted a lot of independent content creators, so why is Mohan making this effort to woo them?
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, it's more of a competitive environment than ever in video. YouTube is still this really dominant online platform, but, I have things like TikTok, Meta's Instagram Reels, really taking mind share in some ways away from YouTube. YouTube has always had this advantage in that, it pays about 55% of advertising revenue out to the creators of the videos. And so far, TikTok and Instagram really haven't been able to mirror that at all. But the amount of reach that creators are able to get on things like TikTok means that they're attractive for other reasons. And so it's a really fragmented landscape now. And, everybody talks now about the multi-platform creator. So right now, I think Neal is trying to sort of make sure that they're YouTube first if they're multi-platform.
Mohan took over as CEO in February. What was he doing before that?
Before that, he was basically the right-hand man to former CEO Susan Wojcicki and led product. So he helped lead the rollout of YouTube Shorts, their answer to TikTok. He also oversaw things like trust and safety. A few years back, YouTube was going through a really tumultuous period where there were concerns about the content on the platform. Advertisers were revolting. And Susan put Neal in charge of basically cleaning it up and establishing new rules for how you upload content to the platform and what's allowed and what's not.
How's he using that experience now that he's the boss?
Well, I think in many ways he was already doing what he's doing now. In my interviews with him, he sort of framed it as like nothing's really changed. He's now the top boss, but he's still overseeing product, and he hasn't hired anybody to be the new chief product officer yet. He testified in front of Congress last year. That will probably be a bigger part of his life. New regulations from Europe coming down will also affect YouTube heavily.
I want to talk about one of the important groups for YouTube, the advertisers. How is Mohan dealing with them?
Advertising is challenging right now. YouTube's had a few straight quarters of basically flat to roughly negative ad revenue. The big challenge right now is YouTube has been promoting YouTube Shorts, and so far, advertisers aren't warming as quickly to short-form video as they are to YouTube's long-form stuff. So getting that mix right, making sure that YouTube is monetizing shorts at a rate at which they can keep paying creators to want to post short videos. That's sort of the calculus Neal's trying to get right at the moment. I think most people expect the big advertisers to continue spending on YouTube as the economy improves. Right now, we're in a bit of a dip. But long term, the real question is, can he win them over to this new short video format in a way that also satisfies creators?
The short format isn't the only thing that YouTube has expanded to, though, in the last few years. It's also adding this sort of TV-like content to its platform. How's that paying off for the company?
Yeah, I mean, YouTube has quietly built up this really big presence on televisions in the living room. More and more people are watching YouTube videos of all kinds on the TV, whether that's things like YouTube TV, its online cable bundle, or things produced by creators like Mr. Beast, prank videos, stunts, etc. YouTube right now is trying to really leverage that to really bump up ads even more on the TV screen. It's still slow going at the moment. I think ad rates compared to other big TV players are still not quite there. But Neal has been really trying to make the pitch that this is the new way people are consuming TV. You know, they want a mix of stuff. They want user-generated content. They want professional content. And younger people, especially, are viewing this as the future of TV watching.
What does that mean for competing with platforms like, say, Netflix or Amazon Prime when it comes to ad streaming dollars as those platforms start to look for advertisers as well?
Yeah, well, I think YouTube's pitch just rests on the fact that they have the most reach of any of those because they have the widest variety of content. I think that there's a credible argument YouTube can make that if you want to get your ads in front of a lot of eyeballs, YouTube is a really good way to do it. And yet there are still sort of these lingering concerns around the professionalism of the content, whether people are really going to sit through multiple ads on a YouTube video like they might do on a prestige TV show. So it's still a work in progress, but I think YouTube's been working on sort of building the base to make that pitch to advertisers for years.
So what is Mohan's vision for YouTube in the years to come?
You know, his vision is really leaning into all of the different products they've launched over the past few years. He really stresses that he doesn't want YouTube to be about one format or another. I think Neal is trying to maintain a flexible approach based on what creators are doing, and that's why you see him talking to creators. He wants to know how they're making videos, what's working for them, what's not, and try to respond to that.
That's our reporter, Miles Kruppa. And that's it for Tech News Briefing this week. TNB's producer is Julie Chang, our supervising producer is Melanie Roy, and our executive producer is Chris Zinsley. I'm your host, Zoe Thomas. Thanks for listening, and have a great weekend.